Hey, what's up? Thought I'd do a random squirrel before I dove into Dark Souls 3 and disappeared for a while, flaking off, beating vile monsters over the head with my sword. Kind of a relaxing one today, I felt like in the mood to chill out a little bit, so it's nothing too stressful, but it is a curious thought. And I'm not really sure exactly how to kick this one off, except to say that consciousness is a strange thing. And it's a strange thing because nobody's sure where it comes from. Nobody really understands it. But it's the one thing that we're all damn sure exists. Because we're all aware that we exist. It's the one thing for which we need no proof, but for which we have no proof. Really, concretely, at least in a materialistic sense. No one's sure what causes it to arise, what causes it to arise in, as far as we know, organic beings, organic constructs that, show varying degrees of awareness and ability to communicate. One could argue whether or not a sponge is conscious or not. I mean a sea sponge, not like a bathtub sponge. And never get a clear answer. But you ask another person, hey, are you conscious? Well, you wouldn't ask them that because it's obvious, you take it for granted. But they would answer, yeah, I'm conscious. Would you argue that a cat or a dog or an ape is conscious? Well, yeah, they're aware. There's stuff that makes them happy and sad. They're not running on what can simply be called programming, like something like an ant per se. There was a book I read somewhere that if the medium through which consciousness interacts with this material thing we call reality is complex enough, then it can house consciousness. And this person kind of speculated that if it was merely a matter of complexity, in order to achieve something with the complexity and ability to do calculations, which can be mechanical, levers and gears and such, I said that theoretically, if one had enough bicycle parts, chains and gears and derailleurs for changing gears and stuff like that, pulleys, cables, that if one built a machine complex enough to do the same number of calculations as the human brain, you would have something about the size of a planet, a good-sized planet, But theoretically speaking, it would be complex enough to contain consciousness. Whether or not it could, well, we just don't know, but so it begs one to differ that perhaps, or I'm kind of getting lost in my words here trying to drive Babylon. Traffic squirrel, haha, that's a new one. Let me just give you a sec to slow down here. Where are you going, buddy? Stay in your own lane. Kind of slow down and catch my breath here. Turn the radio off. That's probably not a problem. One of them, anyway. But consciousness. I guess maybe I'll start on a new track since I fell off that track that I was just on. But we all look in the mirror every day, or we think to ourselves, or we simply know that I am. That we are. We don't need it proven to us. Well, most of us don't. Subconsciously, I think many are driven to seek validation in the eyes of others because they're not sure. They feel they need to accomplish something specific in order to be real, in order to exist. And they always seem to need something outside of themselves to give themselves a reason for existing. Why do they need a reason for existing? Well, we'd all love to know, why do I exist? What are the exact, steps and processes and and maybe, you know, drive or conscious design behind, who knows, right? I'm not saying one way or the other, but who knows, you know, behind the design of amazingly complex biological organisms that house consciousness and are the mechanism through which consciousness perceives this world around us and understands it and, you know, pulls it apart, unfortunately too much, but it figures out how it works and extracts ores from the ground and makes machines like cars, which in turn leads us to invent machines that can simulate those same machines' cars in a way that there's no, you know, there's no car. I'm not driving a car. I'm piloting equations through a world of equations, you know, algorithms, and God only knows, I don't even know half the terminology. That is just deep down at the very base of it, you know, kind of just zeros and ones. And yet it creates a believable world around us, and it's only a matter of time before we can recreate these worlds much as they do in Star Trek and the holodeck, so that it's indecipherable from the reality that surrounds us every day. And yet, even in all of these spaces, it doesn't matter because we continue to be. We exist. We perceive these worlds, and more, it matters less and less which world we're in. We're becoming more comfortable with existing in multiple worlds. And I think if people perhaps became truly themselves, and were allowed to, so long, of course, if they didn't infringe upon anyone else's right to exist pain-free and without torment, you know, you might find people becoming more themselves and being more recognizable in every reality that they inhabit, because they have become that which they enjoy, that which they love about, you know, other people, or, you know, it allows them to do the things that other people that they might look up to have done, perhaps, or recognize where they have an equal amount of skill in another something. Pretty sunset, Squirrel. I guess that train got to its station anyway. Now comes the time to decide if I want to jump on another train. No, you know what? I think I'm leaving it at the sunset. Because quite frankly, I just have no idea what to say next. So have a good one. We'll see you later.